Now we're going to mix our candy carrier, which allows us to make a VOC compliant candy from coast to coast. How's it done? Well, we mix a special clear 4:1 to 1, normally for a heavy standard UK. If you go 4:1 to 2, it takes an average painter and makes a candy painter out of it. It makes it a lot more forgiving by adding that extra reducer, and we're going to show you exactly how to mix it right now. So we're going to set up our mixing cup. We're going to mark the 4:1:1. We're going to decide how much we need. We're going to paint a motorcycle gas tank. So we're going to pick the number 3, and number 3. And we're going to do the extra reducer in the beginning. So here's how we're going to go about it. We're going to go ahead and add our candy carrier to the mark. All right. Now we're going to add our catalyst. It takes KU 152. We're going to add that to our mark. Pour carefully and measure carefully. This is not stuff that you want to make a mistake with. A little bit more. You don't want to under-catalyze. That'll hurt you bad. Let's get our reducer in there to the 2 mark so that we've got it for the average guy that's never done a candy job before, to minimize the amount of blotching that he's going to put up with by using this new mixing method. We've always asked for a little bit of reducer, but by using this in a little bit lesser solids, it makes it very controllable for the painter. Now you can start out by just adding a small amount. There is really no set volume, but here's what you want to look for. You want to look for the consistency on the stir stick. How much coverage have I got? Look at that, how weak that is. That's not going to fly. So we're going to add a little bit more, and then we're going to look at it again. And this is really done by seat of the pants. We do have a formula, but it's better to not have too much on the beginning. Let's check that. I still don't think it's rich enough. Let's go a little bit more. All right, let's take a look at that. We're getting close. We're real close now. For beginning coats, just a touch more. You know, I really prefer a metal stir stick at this point, because when you've got a metal stir stick, you can really see what's going on here, and it's very hard on a wooden stir stick to really get a feel for where we're at. But I think we're good for the first coats. You can see we've got a pretty even consistency there on the stir stick. A metal stir stick will tell you definitely right where you're at, but that's where we're going to begin. If we don't like it, we can certainly always add. There's not an issue doing that. So here's where we're going to begin. It's catalyzed, it's ready. Make sure that you wear the proper respirators when you're dealing with the catalyst, because this is the stuff that can hurt you. You don't want any problems with that. Get a good TC19C respirator, self-contained, or in a good ventilated area or a good booth, you can get by with a TC19C. All right, let's go and paint. Remember, if you're a beginning painter, the darker bases, like the base we've shown here, makes things very simple and less chances of error. So start with the dark base. It really is a good way for you to gain confidence and understand how the candy paint works. Reduce your gun down, use a 75% pattern overlap, and move fast like Mike is on a small gas tank. All right, let the first coat tacky up, and we'll come back at it. I prefer at least 4 to 6 coats depending on the base color. The lighter the base, the more coats are required. What Mike did was put on 2 coats. We're now putting on the last coat. We went back to the bench and we mixed it 4:1:1, which is the standard UK mixing volume. So it's a heavier or more medium solid candy now, where before we had a lighter candy and much easier to handle for the first couple coats. It makes it more forgiving, and the average painter can do it without a hassle.